Hello, everyone. I was. It's not a fever dream, but I was having this weird dream. It's almost like a exhaustion point of just pure exhaustion. You need to take a nap, and you just have like the weirdest dreams. Well, Andrew Bell showed up in my dream, and he was making fun of me not having enough Legos, and it was funny because I had Legos in my dream in a bunker that connected to Jared's house. And Jared and I would go hide in this area when we wanted to get away from everybody. And it was, honestly, I was like, you know what? That sounds pretty cool. I should make that happen.
Don't we live like 2,000 miles apart, Freddie?
Can you
We do,
imagine?
but not in my dreams.
That'd be like the longest Minecraft tunnel ever.
That would be fun.
You know,
I
actually...
have
Go ahead.
a rail car.
I actually have a really strong... I hate to break it to you now that you've already described your dream to me. I have a really, really strong aversion to people telling me about their dreams.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were about to say Legos, and I was like,
it drives me...
Yeah.
No, I love Legos. I just can't afford them. It
enough.
drives me insane when people tell me about their dreams. Thankfully,
Especially when they try to describe the absurd, right? Like
Yes,
exactly, yeah.
It's pure nonsense.
I try to cut that out of my story. There was a lot of absurdity in there.
Thank you, Freddie.
gosh.
You
I was going to
kept it
say,
concise.
that was definitely an engineer's dream. You just get to the point and, none of the romantic extras there. It just was, I had a bunker, there's Legos, and you were there.
Our house is connected.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, it's like, it is the mind's garbage. It is absolutely brain trash. And
That's a great way to put it.
so when you go to sleep, your whatever's on your mind, your brain's like, let's turn it into a story. And
I was sitting there, and my left leg was jelly, and my right arm was a cannon.
that's right.
And you were there, and my dog was an animal that wasn't a dog.
And then it got really raunchy really quick. You know what I'm saying? But and then we all died, and it's like, people, I'll wake up, my wife will be like, I had a crazy dream, and I'm like, don't care. See you later.
Please don't tell me.
Really. My kids, they try, and I'm like, don't want to hear it. The one person who's especially bothered by this is my mother-in-law. And she always, and I mean always, just dying to tell us about her brain garbage. And I don't want to hear it. So, Freddie, don't ever do it again.
I am saving any dream I have from now on to bring up.
No, what have we done?
That was a bad thing to say on the show.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great, let's come back.
That's awesome.
See, I don't ever remember my dreams, and so I guess our friendship is intact still.
I used to have a dream journal. Even when I was a kid, I had a dream about the Pink Ranger. I wrote it down. So my brain garbage is somewhere in my 5-year-old handwriting. Sitting
No
there.
way. You had a dream journal? People do this?
Yes.
Dreams are biblical, Jared. Come on.
That's actually a very excellent point.
Leviathans are
imagine-
biblical, but you don't see me talking about them.
Who?
I could almost imagine one of the disciples, hey, Jesus, I had a dream. I don't want to hear your brain
I
garbage.
don't want to hear your garbage.
Or like
Not a very
Joseph,
WWJD moment.
in prison, Pharaoh's like had a dream, and he's like, "Get your brain garbage out of here,
Don't tell
man."
me about it. Oh,
Well,
man. I had a
that's
dream
perfect.
earlier in the pregnancy that one of my favorite food YouTubers, we were like hanging out and best friends, and like to this day I still feel like a special kinship with him, where I feel like we're best friends, and I know it's ridiculous, but like we hang out.
See, I feel dumber for just having heard that. I mean, I just can't handle the dreams. I just
feel like-
can't do it.
I feel like Jared's ready to start the show now that he's insulted us all.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And this is not a dream. However, it's feeling like a nightmare to me. So, without further ado, let's start the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the YOUTINI Podcast Network. This is the favorite Star Wars books podcast of Dr. Klotzenstein from TV's Doug. You know what I'm talking about? Where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined tonight by my legendary co-host wielding his golden axe, Freddie C.
let me talk about another dream I had. Just kidding.
Rick, where's the eject button?
Dream on, dream on, dream on.
Now we're talking. Well,
Yeah,
happy
I'm
to-
doing great. I've got a nice little shirt here that represents what we're going to be talking about, right? Is there a TIE
That's
aggressor on here
beautiful.
somewhere? Maybe?
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe.
That's gorgeous.
Could be.
You get any
Got my
uglies
little
on there?
TIE fighter or die-cast Millennium Falcon that I'm not going to tell you what I dreamt about, but it was in my dream.
Well, Freddie apparently can't stop talking about this topic. Moving on to Emily Daybeck. Welcome, Emily. Glad that you're still with us and not, taking care of a newborn yet.
Yeah, I know, but I went into fake labor the other night, which is the least fun kind of labor because it just keeps you up all night, but it doesn't actually end in a baby. So I am still pregnant. It was Anyway, ready
That sounds
to be
like
done.
a nightmare. Yeah.
It was a bit of a nightmare, but now I've learned that you don't like to hear about dreams, so I will be exploiting that, and I'm so excited to think of all the different reasons why.
Great.
Always.
Love it.
Yeah.
You know who else is here? Our dreamy producer, Rick Grace.
Well, thanks,
Look at
bud. I'm here.
Dreamy as heck.
I'm here, and I also have a shirt on, which is great.
Oh my
And-
gosh.
I should have
For
worn
the
it.
first time.
X-Wings?
I've got a
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon shirt. Hold on.
For those
everybody
audio
stay here.
listeners, Rick has a shirt on for the very first time.
Yes, I discovered clothing. It's glorious. So silky smooth and soft and all of that. I was going to wear my my Star Trek Enterprise shirt, but I couldn't find it, so maybe next
I am
time.
very impressed with the thematic apparel tonight. Great job, guys.
Yeah,
I love that shirt, Rick.
Disappointed
Thank you.
myself.
Thank you.
I've got a Millennium Falcon shirt and am wearing my Razorback polo because I did go to my first Razorback basketball game in 15 years last night, and we won with a last second stop. We won by 1 point. It was wild, absolutely. And I stayed up till midnight, so just feeling nice and alive and alert for this late night show. Well, got some very fun stuff to talk about tonight. The world of spaceships in Legends, obviously not the topic that I chose. This was Rick and Freddie's request, so I'm doing my best here, guys, to just talk about those spaceships. You know what I'm saying?
I think the best part about it was Jared just said, "Hey, name some ships," and Rick and I just kept going and going. He's like, "Okay."
I was
He's like,
please
I
stop.
really regret doing this. You should not have asked.
By the way, I did listen to The Living Force this week. Our own Jared Mays was on it as our guest host.
Yeah.
And he totally threw Freddie and I under the bus for that, by the way. So,
So great.
Yeah. I asked him, all right, I need a list of the best ships and legends that we can talk about. And it was like they found it like a challenge to their masculinity to be able to name the most. Like they were one-upping each other. And Freddie was like, what about the TIE Defender? And then Rick was like, what about the TIE blah, 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 blah? And then how about the ARC 19073B? And I was like, please, this is getting out of hand. Now there are 900 of them. So we'll just see when we get there. But I've got some fun stuff to, of course, let everybody know about. I've got a couple of new acquisitions. What about you guys?
maybe a little something.
This is a big one. I've got The Rise of the Sith Omnibus. Honestly, I'd forgotten which cover I'd ordered, so was kind of scared when I got them all out of the package.
That's
Look how
pretty
thick this sucker
intimidating.
is.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's thicker than my hand. I mean, it's a big book for sure. Very excited to crack that bad boy and find out if it is a New York Times best-smeller or not. How about you guys? Any new acquisitions?
I think I might have a best smeller in a different way. So, been in a move and a transition, and my last day driving a school bus. I'm retired as a school bus driver for now. Hopefully, I don't have to go back to school bus driving for a while or ever. That'd be fine too. Great job. But my boss did something really nice for me, and he gave me a gift my last day. And so, shout out to Jeremy if you're ever watching this, because sometimes you do watch the show.
Sometimes he does watch, yeah.
Yeah. And so, have you guys seen these?
Because every now and then he says, guys, my boss is watching. Please be cool.
Yeah. It's
Oh, is this the
The
soap?
soap.
the soaps. Yeah, I can't open the box
Nice.
right now. How's this thing open? Oh, there it is. It's a flap. Duh. It's super cool.
That's sleek.
What is that? Darth Vader. Oh, look at that.
Dark side scrub, ruthless rinse, wisdom
rinse
wash.
for your nether regions.
Yeah.
Only hope soap, and all of it smells good. I opened the box.
All
Yoda
of it smells good.
doesn't
that's
smell
good.
great, but yeah, like
Does he smell like root leaf stew?
Straight out of Dagobah.
lotus leaf apparently.
Ah, interesting.
But of course, Obi-Wan smells the best. So
Rick, you know what they say about people that give you soap, right?
I don't want to
Obi-Wan
know.
would smell the best.
What's that?
I mean, if people give you soap or like mints or toothpaste, they're trying to send a message, my
Here's your
friend.
sign.
That's fair. That's fair. Aren't you glad this is a remote show? Then we're not all in the same room together. Can you imagine?
Every week.
Every week could be a best smeller. That's for sure.
Honestly, I went running this afternoon and did not shower. So, I mean, y'all don't know what you're missing. You just don't know.
Goodness.
Well, that's cool. My friend back in Massachusetts, my neighbor, got ordered those in the middle of the winter a year or two ago, and called me, and he was like, "Jared, come over here." I'm like, "Man, there's 3 feet of snow outside. I'm doing good. Got some hot chocolate like Luke Skywalker." And then he's like, "No, I've got to show you this." I go across the street just so he can let me see and smell his Star Wars soaps. He was very proud. So shout out to Dwayne for those two. Emily, Freddie, any new acquisitions?
Not this time around.
Don't worry, I've got more.
Good.
I'm actively back in the stage of collecting Legends hardcovers.
Woohoo.
So here's a few of my
nice.
new acquisitions. Got Labyrinth of Evil, if my camera can catch up to me.
It's a weird
I'll see if I
face
can
there,
get
guys.
this.
Okay.
See if I can get it smoothed out in a second here. But first, Labyrinth of Evil.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Look how squeaky clean this sucker is. It is.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that any of these I'm going to invest in, I'm going to go ahead and get, perfect copies. Annihilation from the Old Republic series, starring Theron
Nice.
Shan. Now I've played the game, so I know his whole deal, and it's not what I was expecting. All right. Another Old Republic book, Fatal Alliance. Why are these titles so dire? Annihilation.
You did get a
a
dark
great book.
bunch.
Fatal Alliance.
I mean,
All right,
would you read a book that was like semi-mortal problem?
Semi-mortal. Stomachache.
The Fatal Dishwasher.
These are both happier. Here we go. Millennium Falcon by James Luceno.
Yeah.
I love that book.
And I don't think it's all that great, but that's fine. And I'm getting some salty takes tonight. Sorry, guys.
Salty taste.
And New Jedi Order. This is the most valuable of the bunch. Enemy Lines. This book was not, available to the public as a hardback.
Oh.
Only 5 New Jedi Order books were. So this is got the Enemy Lines duology, Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand, in the hardback Sci-Fi Book Club edition.
I see.
So,
Okay. Cool.
2 for 1.
Nice.
/ 2 for the price of like 10 books, because that sucker was expensive.
I was about to say, I'm sure that thing was a pretty penny.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a lot of fun things that we have recently picked up. New fun things on the horizon, too. It's time for Legends Lookout. Before we talk about the new books that are coming out in the world of Legends, which, they're old books, reprinted, you know what I'm saying? There was a bit of juicy info that this was courtesy of our buddy Skooma Joe in the Discord. He threw this up for us, and I said, without hesitation, that is going on the show. Rick, as one of the show's resident ministers, tell us about what Timothy Zahn revealed to the world.
Yeah, pretty cool. So there's a conversation on Facebook, looks like, some, pleasantries, and then he said, "I'm curious about your inspiration for the character's name, Chaboth." How do you say that indifferently?
Sabayoth.
Sabayoth, Rick.
Sabayoth, okay. Shaboth. Yeah, okay. You just gotta fake it till you make it.
Chaboth.
And I don't.
It's Legends. It doesn't really matter.
I feel like Jared just threw me under the bus here because I've not taken Hebrew yet. So I've noticed its similarity to the Hebrew word for armies, Shabbat. Savayot. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. And
Savayot.
And so
You got to read it right to left, Rick. That's the problem.
Yeah, okay. Even the transliteration.
No,
right,
not that one.
Put it in the mirror. Look at it backwards.
And so, to which, this is just like a comment on something that Zahn had posted. And so Timothy Zahn responded to this, and he says, "Good catch. The name is from the phrase Lord Sabaoth. Sabaoth. How do you say it?"
Yeah, I would say Sabaoth.
Yeah.
Which is, it's once you say it, you realize.
Yeah, I get it. Always found intriguing in the hymn, A Mighty Fortress. And so really interesting behind the scenes there that Mr. Zahn and this fan uncovered for us. So pretty cool.
In other words,
so cool.
we owe the name Jerusalem Sabaoth to none other than Martin Luther himself. This goes all the way back to the 1500s. He wrote the song, "A Mighty Fortress is Our God." A mighty fortress. Like, it's a really old song, right?
Yeah.
And the word Sabaoth, he basically just, made the word Sabbath sound a little bit more, I don't
Star
know,
Warsy.
archaic.
Yeah.
I always thought Jerusalem Sabaoth I thought it stood for ripped abs, but I guess I was wrong.
This is
Well, we haven't done a full-on
delightful.
word study now. It could still mean something like that.
Old
I'm
man
guessing-
with good abs.
I'm guessing
Oh,
it's
man,
like I don't know, Latin for Sabbath, Sabaoth. I think Sabaoth is how we say it. Anyway, it's Sabbath, the Lord of the Sabbath. It's a whole story. It's complicated. Anyway, it was right under our noses the whole
Yeah.
time.
Never would have got that. Because, of course,
For
I'm still pronouncing it
1600
wrong
years.
the whole time. So
600
I
years.
was, probably several years away from that myself.
Yeah, well, it's you
Scuba
only
Joe
need-
says in the chat, Martin Luther was the OG holocron keeper.
Yeah, he was
That's
absolutely.
awesome.
Wow. Well, thank you for that, Timothy Zahn and Skooma Joe and this other guy who asked the question in the first place. Yeah, Ruben, whoever you are, congratulations, well done. Absolutely. All right, well, we had another little bit of juicy legends details, a reveal of some sort. Speaking of Sabaoth, Freddie, take it away with the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah, so this is going to be fairly interesting. It looks like we're getting yet another box release of the Thrawn trilogy on May 31st, which, man, it just, Disney wants you to pay for more of these Thrawn books. We're going to pay for them, that's for sure.
Happy to oblige.
Well, I think we've got an image of this the new, what is this? The box set of the Thrawn trilogy. They're the Essential Legends collections, so we know what the books themselves look like. But we now know what the box looks like, and it's sick.
Wow.
It's got.
I like it.
Yeah, tell them who it is.
Let's see. So we've got, it looks like, I'm trying to see on this tiny screen that I've got here.
I'm
that
fairly
Mara
certain.
Jade?
I'm fairly certain that it's Luke Skywalker versus Luke Skywalker.
Is that Luke or is that Mara Jade? I can't tell.
That's got to be
no.
Mara
Looks
Jade.
kind of like Mara to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
well maybe I don't have my glasses on. Let's be honest.
Well, I
okay,
see,
yeah,
I see
there's
a,
the red hair.
a tint of red, yeah.
There's the red hair. Well, I just spoiled the Thrawn, the Last Command for everybody. Too bad.
No, it's just your stutter, Jared. It's okay.
Yeah,
Luke?
I just stutter over middle syllables that are vowels for
Conspicuously.
no apparent reason. Absolutely. Well, I'm excited about this. I think I've already pre-ordered it. I already own them as Essential Legends collections, but box sets, those are beautiful.
Totally.
I can't
they're
buy
gonna be
another set of this trilogy. I can't.
I will. Yeah. You're not going to do it,
Let's
Rick.
see.
That's fine.
Which we've got the soft
to.
cover, the hard cover in the Legends, right? And then we've got the Epic Legends collection in the box set now.
Don't forget the 2016 reprints.
That's
Yeah.
right, the 2016 reprints.
There's like the what is it? The 20th anniversary edition for Heir to the Empire.
Good catch. Yeah, I'm trying to find mine down
And
here.
then,
My
That's in the
uh,
chat for
pile
the
of books.
wallets.
Yeah. Then there's the Kindle edition, the Audible edition. Your loaner copy. I don't know. There's just maybe I can loan
go.
out my Essential Legends. That'll be my new loaners, and then I can
Here's-
buy the box set for collector's sake.
Yeah. All right. I've got the 2016 edition of The Last Command here. These were only out for a few years, so very cool. But there's a lot of these out there. For sure. In fact, I think we should do our research. I can't get my camera to catch up with me. I think there are actually several different hardcovers from the 90s that are slightly different colors, like of Heir to the Empire.
Interesting.
Because like they couldn't get the exact same color at the printer or something like that. And so Timothy Zahn always knows when there's an original first edition. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
Not enough cyan.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So what I'm saying, Rick, is there's more that we're going to have to collect.
Oh, dear. And so if I see one with slightly different coloration, I'm about to keep it and then take it to the man himself and be like, tell me the story of these. Which one is the original?
Tell me.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, he knows. I think it's chronicled in the 20th anniversary, like the liner notes, all that extra, those juicy deets that they threw in the margins. Anyway, there's a lot out there. They are going to come out May 31st, right after the next wave of Essential Legends collections, which are coming out. Guys, it's coming up soon on April the 5th. Emily, tell us what we got coming.
Sure, we got Kenobi, Dynasty of Evil, Darth Plagueis, and Wedge's Gamble, which also includes a new audiobook. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah. There's 10 books in the series, so now 3 of them are going to have an unabridged audiobook. So we're getting there.
Ooh,
I love it.
Slowly
that.
but
No,
surely.
This is the part that all of the naysayers at the very beginning. Oh, Disney's going to ruin the Legends books, etc. Guys, we're getting new content in Legends.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's so exciting.
That's a good point.
I think, with my new X-Wing behind me here, it's about time that I order an actual X-Wing pilot helmet. What do you think?
I think you should put Wedge behind you.
What, like a cardboard
Nice little
cutout?
Cutout, yeah.
No, I'm talking about got a couple of helmets like laying on the ground over there on some boxes.
Yeah, I'd like that.
That'd be cool.
We'll see. See how
I'm
much
telling
they
you, got to
cost.
put a Gonk droid in there.
I'd like to
Definitely.
build one. Yeah, I'm looking at instructions on how to build one. It's in the plans.
You get a trash can and you put some feet on
2
it.
of them.
And, yeah.
There's a little bit
Ta-da!
more to it.
I know.
But it is a fairly simple project.
All right, you're right. You have to get the trash can from, like, your junior high, circa 2006, 2004, whatever.
What a lot of people do is they get 2 storage bins, and flip the top one upside down, and then attach them around the waist, in the middle, and then the corrugated pipes for the legs, and then it's the face of the Gonk droid that's especially like where you can give it detail, like whatever.
Yeah, and you can
Greeblies.
put your daughter in there and have her gonk around during the show.
I don't think I should put my daughter inside a plastic bin.
Yeah, and I'm also, as a father to daughters, I don't
about
think
your
we should
cat?
ever use the verb
Suffocating.
gonk. Gonking my daughter does not sound good. So let's
not
just
going to
That's
happen
terrible.
here.
remove
Changing
that.
the subject.
Yeah.
Changing the subject.
I'm gonna keep
Speaking
my
of
eye on
things
you, Freddie. No.
that I've been building in this new Star Wars studio. The next episode of my Yavin Base build series is out tomorrow for our $10 and up patrons. So, if you would like to see what's going on up above me, so you can't see it from here, but let me tell you, it was messy, and it did not smell good. All right, there's my... actually, Rick, do you have the video teaser for what happened this week?
I think so.
All right, let's see.
Involving some important seats, right?
Okay, so this is a little promo for this week's episode. This was something that my daughters were up here with me while I was putting the room together. This video is just a snippet of something that I discovered of what my kids were up to while I was working on the room. This is amazing. This doesn't work, Rick, when you announce.
It worked great.
That was great.
Totally. Well, it was one of those things I just looked over and was like, oh, what is happening over there? And then Mace Windu is looking like this. Very
I do not
unhappy.
approve of this situation.
Very unhappy. She looks up at me and she's got Apple Red Sisters and she says, what's up with his tail? And why does he have a tail? And I was like, that's a question. That's exactly his thing. Why does he have a tail? And she's like, can we get it out of here? Actually, it's really difficult to unsnake him from his chair because there's a hole in the back of his chair, specifically tail size. Did you guys know this?
I have
Yeah,
not
yeah.
been complete
You gotta
until this moment.
Put it
Tell me
in
more.
a certain way
Like,
and take it out in a certain way.
when you think real world architecture for like building this chair, somebody had to design a hole in the back of Apo Rancisis' chair so he could stick his tail through there.
Well, I think the weird part is they had to actually measure his tail first.
How big around is it? The girth.
Hold on there. Let me grab this.
Well, you know what else people had to measure? Spaceships. I don't know how to do this transition. We're going to talk about the best spaceships of Legends in just a moment. So we'll be right back with the show.
So as Jared mentioned at the beginning of the show, he in the chat, right? We're trying to figure out ideas for the show notes, trying to come up with, starfighters. Okay, what do we want to go for here? And of course, it was definitely a battle between Rick and I, trying to put out as many of the cool ships that we could remember off the top of our head. And I have to be honest, Rick, I'm fairly impressed. We came up with, I don't know, like 20 each.
Yeah, it was a good list. And for me, at least, it wasn't like trying to one-up each other. I just love ships, like
Same.
Every single franchise, like I love sci-fi and I love ships. That's always what I care about. And I mentioned I play Star Wars Armada. That's a tabletop game that's about fleet combat. So and we're actually going to do an episode on Armada one of these days because there's so much Legends lore built into the game. But man, many ships, so many great ships.
Yeah, absolutely. Armada, I'm a big fan of Armada as well. I remember when the X-Wing game came out, the X-Wing miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this bad boy came from.
Nice.
Yeah, and when that came out, I bought as many as I could. And then the capital ship started coming out, and goodness gracious, are those beautiful and expensive.
Yeah, that is true.
So yeah, today we're going to be going over a couple of different types of ships: starfighters, capital ships, freighters. Freighters.
It's for the Irish. It's what the Irish carry their cargo.
The Legends freighters. They're called freighters.
Fritters. They're fritters.
Legends fritters. We're going to talk about Legends fritters.
Deep fried.
And then of course, some miscellaneous ships and of course honorable mentions. But yeah, Rick, did you want to give some info on some of the vanillas?
Yeah.
The vanilla ships?
So tonight we are talking about the dopest, the coolest ships out there. So to get us started, we need to have a baseline, right? Just the plain old ships. If you're just watching A New Hope or something for the first time, the first two ships you're going to see, if you're watching A New Hope, it's going to be a CR-90 frigate, a blockade runner, and an Imperial Star Destroyer. Yeah, it looks
like a fist.
That's right. It looks like a fist.
Can I ask a question about that ship?
Yeah, sure.
Like, you talking about Bail Organa's ship?
Correct.
Is it a Hammerhead? No, that's different.
No, CR-90B Corellian Corvette.
It's a Corvette, yeah.
What do you call the name of that specific ship of his Corellian Corvette?
Yeah, give me a second.
This is a big debate.
Yes, it is, and I just heard like a proper. Dang, give me a second.
And I'm also blanking on the name, so somebody's gonna let us know in the chat how it's spelled, and then we're gonna debate how to pronounce it, and it's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, I know. It's Tantive.
Yeah, there we go. Skooma Joe.
Tantive.
So Tantive is what it looks like. I always say Tantaviv. The Tantaviv 4.
And
that's what I've said too.
And go ahead, Jared.
The reason for that is how they pronounce it in the original NPR A New Hope radio drama. So that is in a very early source on how to pronounce it. It might have been the first time it was ever pronounced, Tantaviv 4.
I think you're right.
Nice.
So and that's how Pablo Hidalgo says that it should be pronounced. But that's
we're pronouncing it.
I was about to say
we're calling it here on Legends Look Back. It is Tantaviv.
I heard somewhere that is like correct for like another reason too. I can't remember why, so I'm just blowing smoke now.
I trust NPR.
Yeah.
They figured out.
Okay, so those are the vanilla ships. You call it a Star Destroyer vanilla?
It's
no,
vanilla.
I'm calling the plain Imperial class Star Destroyer. They're a dime a dozen. There's like 20,000 of them, right? And tonight we're going to talk about some modified Imperial Star Destroyers, or
not just
the
Star
different
Destroyers.
classes. Yeah, exactly. And so like they're super impressive ships. Like, let me look it up real quick. I've got my handy dandy Star Wars: The Essential Guide to Vessels and Vehicles. Oh yeah, it's a great book. Great book. Imperial Star Destroyer. This sucker. Let's see.
Did they say sucker in the book?
They do actually. It's a
If so,
technical
I'm buying
term.
it.
No, I'm kidding.
Hey Rick, I want you to push your glasses up before you read this.
Like this.
Oh, that's
Zoom in on
glorious
this.
right there.
Let me go and make the thumbnail right where we're at it. Okay, so.
Perfect.
So the Imperial Star Destroyer is 1,600 meters long and have over 100 weapon emplacements for deep space combat. And some beautiful looking schematics.
So
I
it's
can't
a mile.
see that. It's all
A mile is 1,600
blown out.
meters.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great conversion there. I don't speak metric, so.
It's
I'm
because
a
of
runner.
running.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice. So yeah, there's a lot more we can talk about, but it is a cool ship on its own. But there definitely are some other cool ships that are bigger, better, or smaller and more agile, whatever. It's a great ship though.
Yeah, so
And this first ship is actually super agile, right, Jared?
yeah, we're talking about we're going to start off with the alphanumeric starfighters. You know, in the original trilogy, we've got, your X-Wings, Y-Wings, A-Wings, B-Wings. Are those the only wings in the original
Boneless
trilogy?
wings.
Oh, this
That's right. I'm a honey
Chicken
barbecue
wings.
man. Thank you very much.
Anakin's wings severed on the shore of. Okay.
So, in Legends, if you're ever like, how come there's not more letters of the alphabet? Oh, don't you worry. Legends has got you covered.
Yeah.
We have got you covered. And Freddie and I were debating pre-show if this is our very favorite Legends Starfighter. I think it's mine. And you know why? It's from Dark Empire. We're talking about the E-Wing. Isn't that right, Freddie?
Absolutely. The E-Wing is a beautiful ship. It's portrayed differently, right? We've got a version here which is very sleek. It almost looks like a I would almost call it like a X-Wing cut off at the end and replacing
Oh,
the
yeah.
engines.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not Dark Empire art.
No,
I couldn't
no.
find
Dark
one with
Empire. It's
higher
a
enough
bit shorter.
res.
It's a bit stubbier. But yeah, the Dark Empire is where this came out, and honestly, if you look at a lot of the behind the scenes and appearances of the E-Wing, it is splattered throughout Legends everywhere, from New Jedi Order to Dark Empire and many other stories in between.
Yeah, the E-Wing, I'm trying to remember. I think the basic conceit of it is that, if I remember correctly, it's honestly been too long since I read Dark Empire. I think the basic conceit is, hey, it's been a few years since Endor. The Rebels have got, some Imperials to mop up. We need newer, better ships. Wow! In come the E-Wings. And the E-Wing pilots are like, yeah, we got the cool ships now. Forget about the X-Wings.
Man.
Right?
Yes. I'm reading the book as we go.
Rick, you can't just read the book the whole show.
It's a lot more interesting than you guys are right now. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Just kidding. It says that it's got, let's see, fire-linked triple laser cannons. One cannon on the end of each wing, and the third directly above the cockpit. It's pretty sick.
So that's what makes the E, right? That extra nubbin.
I get it.
Nubbins.
Uh-huh.
They didn't
Right.
want to call it the Nubbins wing. They called it the E-Wing.
Yeah, so the E, how do you do, it's like YMCA up in here. Are you trying to make the shape of the E? Yeah, all right. You get it. For me, it might be my favorite. It's not just like the way that it looks as much as its storytelling function within Dark Empire. You know what I'm saying?
But
Let's
it
move
also
along.
looks cool. It also looks cool.
Yeah. The E-Wing to me looks like it has always been and belongs in
Battlestar Galactica.
the original
Oh,
trilogy. It
okay.
just fits in.
Yeah, Rick, I could totally see that.
Yep.
What, Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah.
I've never watched an
Anything
episode,
interesting
so-
about the E-Wing? Besides it being in a lot of stories?
Yeah, I think it's definitely just fabled. It's got a lot of miles on it, or a lot of pages in it.
That's
Lot of
true.
pages.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, what else? We're going to spend all night just on the alphanumeric ships if we're not careful. What's the VT-49? I'm not even sure I know what this is, Freddie.
Yeah, so the VT-49, first of all, I think Disney calls them, toothpick holders? Grab your toothpick holder and put your drink of choice in it, because I'm about to drop Star Wars Galaxies. The
Shot
VT-49
glass.
was...
Emily, what he's talking about is that Disney doesn't call shot glasses shot glasses. They call them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Toothpick holders.
Toothpick holders. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So the VT-49. Fun fact about the VT-49. So the first appearance was in Star Wars Galaxies, and then it was also released in, I believe it was Lethal Alliance for PSP and
That's a deep pull
the
for
DS. Yeah. The interesting thing about it, though, is the original concept for the VT-49 was to make an evil-looking Millennium Falcon,
Oh
and
my
they
gosh,
even
I can
used.
see that.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and even the sound in the video games, the Millennium they use the Millennium Falcon sound, and they just put in some like minor tones to make it sound just a little more
Wow.
interestingly evil. So
I gotta look that
very
up.
interesting craft.
This is one I had not heard of until preparing for this show. The next one, though, I had heard of. Emily, tell us about it.
Sure, it's the Z95 Headhunter. Its first appearance is with Han Solo at Star's End.
That's an old.
also
What is
used-
that? 79. That's an old
Yeah,
book,
that's
right? Freddie?
that's a very old one. Yeah,
Go ahead,
That's-
Emily. Continue.
Oh, it's all good. Used by the Rogue Squadron in the Liberation of Coruscant, and flown by Mara Jade in the Thrawn trilogy. And if I'm correct, is it usually used for training?
Yeah, it's been used for especially in
By,
I believe it was Rogue Squadron, right?
yeah.
It was used for training often.
It's
Okay.
it's been around that long that it's a not your first choice necessarily, but it is a sturdy.
Practice option.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
It looks like a proto X-wing to me.
Yeah,
It's like an
Exactly.
L wing,
Yeah.
like a
It's only
lowercase
got-
L. It's just a straight line.
Yeah, it's only got a set of wings, and it doesn't have the S. The what is it? S foils in attack
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
This is the only position you got.
No position options for the Z95 Headhunter. Justin in the chat calls it baby's first X-wing, which is so
Love it.
good. I love it. And also, Mara Jade makes anything cooler, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
Well, now you got. What do y'all put B-wing in the show notes? Just B-wing. What is it that you love about the B-wing? I mean, I don't know that we can call it a Legends ship. It's an original trilogy ship, right?
well, yeah, but it's still a sick ship. I don't know if I put that
It's
or
a
if Freddie put it in.
I'm not sure who put that in here. One of us, when we were doing our starship regurgitation. But the B-wing is such an interesting craft in general. It's very slow at maneuvering, but it's basically your how would you call it? It's like your armory
It's a bomber,
almost. It's got
right?
the heaviest cannons. Yeah, it can contain a lot of bombs.
It's a multi-purpose aircraft.
It is multi-purpose. You can use it for mining, I think, even. And I believe the cockpit stays stationary.
Yeah, it's gyroscopic.
Yep. And
Then it
so
should be called the G-wing. Why in the world is this thing called I said G-wing. All right.
maybe
G-wing.
because if
That's
you have it
probably
upside
why.
down, it looks like a lowercase b.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
think it's a
called B-wing.
lowercase b? I've always not
Yeah,
understood.
right.
I know that it's supposed to be blade.
Or
Or at
oh
least that's a
yeah,
retcon.
well that's a retcon. I'm pretty sure. That's definitely a retcon.
Well,
let's see if there's
I
even
think it's cool, but it doesn't make sense to me.
even in this schematic they can have an S wing. The blade that the cross section there that expands. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's the ship that looks like an X or a cross. And the cockpit does like gyroscope with the orientation and stuff. It I think was
If it
featured.
looks like a cross, it should be a T-wing. What is wrong with these people?
It should
fair.
be it does have the wings as well. Yeah.
Now
Right.
it oh, my dogs are gonna bark now. Sorry.
He doesn't like the B-wing.
I guess not. But I was gonna
Maybe
say
some objections.
one of my favorite. Hold on, give me 1 second to yell at these dogs.
It's okay. It's not like they've never had barking dogs on the living force. Am I right? Now, let me say this: we've got X-wings, B-wings. We talked about E-wings. There's A-wings. Here's my question: Y-wings, are they the worst starfighter ever? I'm gonna say yes.
Well,
The design is fine, but they're at least in the X-wing books, they're described as the slowest out of all the bombers. They're like a decrepit Clone Wars craft. They still have lying around.
Yeah, it's got heavy armaments, right? It has an ion cannon, an automated ion cannon, along with its own turret,
right?
And it can carry bombs.
Yeah,
so it's not really agile at all, though.
No,
it's just for offensive.
It's supposed to be a bomber, I think, through and through. And so, like, if you get into a dogfight with the Y-wing, you pretty much know that someone didn't do their job. He's supposed to be covering you, and you're screwed because you're clunky. You know,
got a lot of shields.
Yeah, it's got good shields, and that ion cannon. You know, ion. Okay, I'm talking as if this is real. This is what I love about sci-fi. But, you know, ion technology in fiction is supposed to, just disable a ship, not destroy it. Mm-hmm. And so it's primary.
Blow them up. Why are you?
No, not blow them up. Just disable them. And so that's what ion technology does, is it just disrupts the electronics or whatever so that it can keep going with its mission as a bomber. And so even ion cannons, that's why you see whenever there's an ion cannon, like in Empire, from the surface to the Star Destroyer there, the ion cannon disables the ship. It doesn't blow it up outright. Okay, I'm just nerding out now. I'm sorry.
There's even a purpose. If they wanted to capture, they use Y-wings to capture TIE fighters, so they can do some reverse engineering or whatever, because they can keep it, as long as you shoot it and you keep it what do you call it, disabled, I guess.
Yeah,
you can get a tractor beam, take it up, and without having to destroy the fighter is alive, maybe, right? And so you can interrogate him, torture him, whatever you want to do.
Okay, now we're talking. We got torture involved. All right, Here's the thing. When you guys reread Wedge's Gamble, when it comes out with the Essential Legends Collection volume of Wave 4 this April, in those books, Y-Wings are constantly looked down upon.
True.
They are the X-Wing pilots in universe, because it's from the perspective of the X-Wing pilots.
Totally.
They're always like, oh no, the Y-Wing losers are here.
Yeah.
So
you'd have to imagine. It's like a bunch of F-35 pilots, and then you've got like a C-17.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like the Legends equivalent of that meme of the guy in the school with the boombox on his shoulder, and he says, "How do you do, fellow kids?" Those are Y-wing pilots. Am I right?
That sounds about right. Yep.
All right.
Especially,
now, Rick, you were about to go ahead.
I was just thinking. Especially, I'm pretty sure in all the movies, it's always the guy with the mustache who's flying the B-wing. So, like, that just is even.
We should have all worn mustaches for this show. Roll it back. Start it over.
When I shave my beard, my fat chin just hangs out, and it's disturbing and distracting. So we're not going to do that this time. Maybe next time. I was going to say, one of my favorite weird legend moments is, I got to look it up so I don't get this wrong. I think it was in Jedi Academy trilogy when Akbar crashes the B-wing into the Crystal Cathedral. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Is it the one with the noise maker?
The Cathedral of Winds.
The wind.
That's what it is.
The Jedi Academy trilogy.
Yeah, and he feels so bad, and it was tragic, but I just was like, they talk so much about this B-wing and how cool it was and how he knew the guy working on it and all that, and there's some plot points going on there, and then it crashes, and it's like, oh dang, Akbar just crashed the ship. Is this the old guy? Take his keys away, like.
Take his keys.
Man.
Do you think that starfighters have keys?
No. They definitely.
Why not? It was a quick no.
It's Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Oh, I guess in the Naboo starfighter, Anakin presses the button and that makes it go.
Yeah, it's push to start. You got the fob with your batteries have to be turned on. Right now,
gotta have your foot on the brake.
Yeah. Okay, I saw quick dad joke since we talked about that. I saw a TikTok where someone was trying to start their car, and it says depress brake and press button to start. So the guy gets down and starts talking to his brake and says, "You're never going to amount to anything. You're always going to be a failure."
That's great.
Oh, that's so good.
Why can't you be more like your brother?
Yeah.
That's great. I love it. Now, you've got a great comment here in the chat from from Skooma Joe. He says, "I know what the B stands for. Based. They're very based." I love that. Now, And we're about to move on into the capital ships category. Any other starfighters we've got to give a shout out to? I think we got a couple more here. V-Wings? What are V-Wings?
Yeah, V-Wing. That's the if you play the Rogue Squadron video game, the V-Wing is one of the last ships you unlock for what is it? What is the last level there? Oh, it's the Mon Calamari Devastators.
Okay.
And it's got cluster bombs and everything. So really cool. Definitely overpowered.
As I was doing
rapid
research,
fire.
I did find that there's a Lego set of this that exists, so that's cool.
Oh, interesting.
They came from, according to the research I did, they were an unused design for Revenge of the Sith, but then Legends was like, oh, unused design? I got you covered. And so, like, all the Legends properties from around that time, Battlefront, Force Unleashed, Labyrinth of Evil, they all use V-Wings extensively. So, also, got a few others here, but we probably have to move on. How about TIE Fighters? TIE Fighters are, they're like starfighters. They're a single man for the most part. Are bombers two-person fighters? TIE bombers?
They might be.
One person flies the ship, the other drops bombs out the back.
The other one's laying down in the other pod.
I feel like I read something about that recently, but I can't remember the conclusion. I've always assumed they were two people, but I think the other section's just for extra bombs.
It's like the SUV of TIE Fighters. All right,
There's several TIE Fighters too.
What's your favorite, Freddie?
It's tough because there's to me, it's funny because the TIE Defender, TIE Oppressor, I'm not sure about the Aggressor, but I think the Oppressor and Defender have just extra wings. So it's like, okay, where can we fit more of these TIE Fighter wings on this thing? And they just called it a name. But I really do I think it's the TIE Aggressor, which almost reminds me of, if you can imagine, right, you've got the Millennium Falcon, right? It's the TIE Fighter normal in the front, but it's got a turret in the back.
Okay.
Similar to what you kind of see in what are the TIE Fighters in the new stories? It's got like another man turret that you can use.
Yeah,
it reminds me of that. I kind of like that.
You're asking the wrong podcast. We only know the legend stuff.
What's those new movies that came out recently?
I heard Disney did something with them. Yeah,
those Power Rangers. That's the one.
Yes. What about you, Emily? Which is one of your favorite TIE Fighters, if you had to pick one?
Oh, geez. I mean, as somebody that probably would not be very good at flying them, I would love to have some shields. So maybe the Defender.
Shields are important.
Because the TIE was originally designed just to be like aggressive only, right? They were designed specifically to be fast and not to have shields.
They were cannon fodder. That's all they were.
Expendable.
Yeah.
Speaking of cannon, that's what I love the most about the opening scene in The Force Awakens, where Finn and Poe blast off out of the Star Destroyer. They really did an amazing job capturing how agile and lightning fast the TIE. What is that? It's a special ops TIE, the black and red one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
like cool.
it just takes off, and I'm sitting in my seat like, "Woo, here we go!" It's a good moment. Rick, I think we've got a picture of the TIE Defender. This might be the most storied kind of TIE fighter, like legendsy modified TIE. And it's now gone on to be included in canon. Thrawn's got a whole arc with him in Rebels, and there's a book. Would you say that the shields are like the number one thing about them?
I think they also have advanced computers or avionics or something that helps them target better. But yeah, the shields are a complete game changer.
It's got 6 cannons, right?
I don't know.
It's a great shape. I like the look of it.
Yeah.
I think it
kind of
needs
like a
more,
claw.
I feel like of all the ships named Defender, though, it probably shouldn't be this one because this one does look like a beast. Yeah, I mean, it's the shields are a game changer. You allow your pilots to go on to fight another day and therefore become ace and better and can train more, and so they become harder to beat over time. If you don't kill them the first day, they're going to be even harder to kill the second time. So you really can't downplay how important shields are. But that's just not the way the Emperor specifically thought. Everyone was expendable to his goal, and even a well-trained pilot, like you mentioned, it's no joke getting in there. Again, I got to remind myself this is fiction. No one actually gets in there and flies these things. But in the universe, you don't just get in there and fly them. You have to be well trained, and so having your pilots survive is
Costs
huge.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? That's the trope with a lot of the Rogue Squadron books. If there are seasoned TIE fighter pilots, they're probably really good.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
Now-
crazy to think about, knowing that like one lucky shot could end you, whereas an X-wing pilot has you get a couple of shots, before you're really gone.
The TIE Defender has gone on to have a storied history in canon and Legends. They've been included in all kinds of projects. Do you guys know where they first originated?
Was it around 1994?
Oh, you talking about the like one of those PC games?
Maybe.
There's a bunch of like the X-wing and TIE Fighter, like those Starship. I used to have one of those for the PlayStation 1. Oh, Andrew's a big expert in these. We should have had him on.
That'd have been cool.
Could have taken my place. I'm just kind of like, hey, I remember that ship from Legends.
You're like, can we go back and talk about relationships again? Because
Different kinds of shit. Oh, I can get into the juicy deets of the Legends love triangles.
oh man, here's my Legends love triangle.
There it is.
Hey.
I love it. It's so good.
That's funny.
All right, let's move on to the capital ships. Any other single man, alphanumeric fighters you want to give a shout out to first?
I think we do have a picture for an ugly, so I'll throw one of those up there.
Oh, yeah.
I've never encountered this ship in a story, but it is
So awkward.
disgusting. I want to like go wash
It's
my
like a
hands.
mix between a tie and an X-wing. What in the
Well, that's
world?
the point. That's the point, right? Any ugly is just like it's typically a pirate ship, right? That they've conglomerated from scraps that they've found in the aftermath. I mean, these are called the Star Wars, after all.
That's true.
There's all kinds of debris lying around the galaxy, so you get what
Like
you
a
can find.
Frankenstein
And
ship.
you duct tape them together. That's right. These are the
right.
true Arkansas ships because they're just held together with duct tape.
What?
Holy ship!
Yeah, exactly.
Holy ship.
I want to know what kind of sound this ship makes. What do you guys think?
Oh.
Because it's
Oh,
like,
my Well, it's probably still got the twin ion engine could be in the kind of the butt of the pod there. But then
True.
you've got 4 more engines. All right, so you got to do it in harmony. Freddie, you make your X-Wing noise, and I'll make my TIE Fighter noise at the same time. See if we can match pitch. Ready?
X-wing noise. What is that? Just like
I'm kidding. We're not going to do it, but let us know, listeners, in the chat, in the YouTube comments, please tell us what sound the X-Wing TIE ugly makes.
Emily,
What
you're
do you
based,
think?
right?
Do not ask me to make sound effects. I draw
everyone
the
make
line.
your best TIE fighter. What would you call it?
Scream.
Send it to Jared. Yeah,
I
make your
will
best
say
TIE
this,
fighter.
and I'm
Featured on the
hesitant.
show.
I'm hesitant to do it on the show. I spend a lot of time, an embarrassingly large amount of time, practicing my TIE Fighter noise
Great.
because it is like kind of an inhale of a scream.
Yeah.
You got to do
Give
the.
us your best.
Do it and you're
No,
cool.
I
Do it and you're cool.
I can't
Do
perform
it
under
and you're
pressure
cool.
like this.
Do it
No,
and you're cool.
it's kind of like
Why did you spend
no,
so
no,
much
no.
time practicing if you're not going to show it off?
so that when I play spaceships with my kids, I can make the right sounds.
Oh,
Well-
okay, that makes sense.
Well, let's just do a little practice.
I like
then.
it.
No one's watching. It's just us.
It's a scream. I'll say this much: it is a scream. It is a scream. We've got a great group in the chat tonight. I'm not going to ruin
That's
this for
true.
them.
That's
All right,
true.
you're going to have to clamor for it at
They
least as
wanna
hard
hear it.
as Freddie's been clamoring for me to cosplay as Salacious P. Crumb. At least that hard.
I'm gonna have to super chat next week to hear it. I guess.
It's got to be a super chat for sure. It's got to be a super chat.
Yeah.
Okay, now, moving on to the capital ships. Whew, before this gets any more personal, the capital ships. We're talking about the big bad boys, right?
The big uns.
Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
Mon Cal, the bulbous rebel ones.
Yeah.
Are you more partial to Star Destroyers or to the Mon Cal ships, everybody?
Okay.
I really do like the sleekness of the Mon Cal ships. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean there are tons of other non-partisan ships out there. You know, Corellia makes a bunch of everything. But let's see. I love the firepower and the strength of the Empire.
Yeah.
I don't like what they stand for, of course, but like they're just beautiful ships. Like the symmetry, the arrowhead design. So I think
They're
visually,
just triangles in space.
yeah, but they're cool triangles in space. Every time
Yeah,
I see
nice pizza.
I used to have a
Yeah.
mural of one in my house. I mean, obviously, I love them.
Every time every time I see a triangular building, I like almost get in a wreck because I have to stare at it and just like dream as if I had an office in that building. I would totally make it like a bridge and just walk around with my hands behind my back and
Officer on deck.
strut the deck. Yeah, and oh man,
Oh my gosh.
oh gosh. So yeah, I'm gonna say Star Destroyers for me.
Okay.
Oh, I love a Star Destroyer. Favorite
Now-
kind of ship.
Emily, you said you wanted to talk about the Chimera. This is Thrawn's personal flagship.
Yes. Well, that's why. My favorite blue guy. Yep. The Chimera is, it's modified, but it was the flagship of Thrawn's 7th Fleet. So he did, like, all of his commands on this, right? That's,
sounds
like,
right to me.
his ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it ended up being the flagship of his fleet when he was promoted to admiral. So, I mean, Chimera. Like, there is, like, that's the best ship name, in my opinion. I don't think there's
I
a
like
better
that.
one.
That's another funny thing about Star Destroyers, right? Is you have to name them as typically the Chimera doesn't quite fit. For the most part, they have some kind of a super violent name,
Yeah.
like the aggressor or the dominator.
Yeah, usually it's
Eviscerator.
obvious. With Chimera, I feel like that's totally Thrawn because it's like mythological and also Chimera is like
Mythological. Okay, sorry.
Now, Rick,
there you
before
go. Yeah,
you joined the
it's
team,
beautiful.
a couple years ago, Corey got us all on the team these pins.
Yes.
It is a Chimera Star Destroyer pin. Obviously, from the canon designs they used in Rebels and the new novels. It's got the Chimera symbol printed on, etched into the actual Star Destroyer. I love that. It's one of my favorite little possessions because it's not like you can't buy it in a store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought some books from him, and he sent me one of those too.
Oh, you've got one?
I've got one.
I thought I was showing you something you didn't have.
Sorry.
One up
bet you-
again.
I'm
Knowing
sorry.
Corey, he probably bought a box of like 1,000.
Oh
in
yeah,
order
he's
to get
probably
a
like,
discount.
"Here, kids, take a pin." Kids come
love it.
for
Now-
trick or treat, and it's
All right,
just
let's run through some of the more notable Star Destroyers and capital ships in Legends. We talked about the Chimera. What else? We got the Executor class. This is like what Vader
yeah.
drives, right?
what he drives.
Stick shift.
What Vader broods in ominously.
Yeah. So, all right, we have to talk about scale for this thing. This is a beast of a ship. Let's see. I'm looking up the dimensions here. Okay, here we go. 8,000 meters long. How many miles is that?
8,000. Okay, so a 10K
5K.
is 6 miles. So it's 4 miles?
4 miles long.
5?
That's crazy.
So it's about 4 times bigger than the normal
Yeah.
Star Destroyer.
Yeah, which is crazy. Actually, I feel like it's bigger than that. I wonder if this number is accurate. Because I think I was thinking in my head it was a lot bigger than that. Anyway,
We're
it's a
very technical
massive
here on the episode. That's
it's
right.
a massive ship.
Broad
It's-
strokes.
I mean, all of these ships really they house everything. Like these capital ships, they house everything you need to live in for months at a time. But I feel like this Executor class, like the I know you can't like see what I'm pointing to, but the bridge is back where the arrowhead kind of like gets its broadest, and like all those towers before, it just reminds me of like a cityscape, you know?
There's a Louis Vuitton in there.
Yeah. And it's massive. And again, the game Star Wars Armada, like this is obviously like the biggest ship that you can play. And the ship itself in this
Is it
game,
bigger than the whole table?
and it's pretty massive. It's like 3 feet
Yeah.
long. It cost like $200 when it came out. And
Yeah.
I tracked the price until I bought it because I wanted it to be a lot cheaper than that. But it's so beautiful. Like, just a beautiful, beautiful ship. Like I can pick it up like a dagger. Like I would never do that, of course, but it's beautiful.
I would never do that.
So, excuse me, Jared. We don't have a picture of this, and we didn't mention it, but this is for you, man.
Okay.
Let's talk for a second about this one I just saw a couple pages ago.
Are you still in the Super Star Destroyer category? Is
Yes.
that what this is? Is this like Super Star Destroyer?
We can just say Star Destroyer. But do you know anything about the Eclipse Star Destroyer? Man, it's so blown out you can't see it.
Eclipse. Oh, I got this. Okay, I was born for this moment. Oh. It's from Empire's End.
Is it? I don't know.
It's like the third of the Dark Empire trilogy.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it actually appears pretty early on in Dark Empire. Longer
than a Super Star Destroyer, and it's got like a big, like a buck tooth on the front, right?
Yep.
According to this book, it is 17.5 kilometers long.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That was one thing about Dark Empire. With every ship they iterated on. There's also like the... I can't remember. Jacob just did a bit about this the other day on Cosmic Force. In Dark Empire 2, there's like we've got these kind of ships. Yeah, well, we've got the next model. Anyway, they would always say, well, we've got the bigger and better one. So it's like even bigger and longer than a regular Super Star Destroyer.
Yep. And of course, the sequel trilogy, they had to like one up all of us too. Like their ships are on a scale of their own too. All of them.
Oh, those are like 12 times the biggest ship.
Yeah. Like even the Finalizer Kylo Ren ship is like probably as big as that Eclipse. And then you just get bigger, ridiculously bigger and bigger from there, like Snoke ships.
Obnoxiously bigger.
Yeah, it's so annoying, but they're massive, massive ships.
This was basically the resurrected Palpatine's ship. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That Palpatine.
Yeah. The scantily clad one.
Now, Emily, let me ask you this. Have you finished the Rogue Squadron books yet? The first 4?
I don't think I have yet, no.
You read Rogue Squadron.
I just finished the newest Thrawn book.
Why are you reading that? Get over here back in Legends.
Because I love Thrawn. I mean,
pull her over to Legends.
I liked it.
No one is surprised.
Thrawn's great.
It's fine. Okay, well, I won't spoil it then. In the first arc, the first 4 X-Wing books, there is a Super Star Destroyer that is a huge plot twist in terms of what it's doing and its role. And, Freddie, you remember this? We had, I think, Tyler on for this episode. At one point, Corrin is strapped naked to a chair, interrogated by Yasani Isard on this ship.
He's probably moist, too.
No, but for real, the book ends, the cliffhanger, the very last chapter is Corran Horn is strapped naked in a chair on the Super Star Destroyer. So
that's how it ends?
He's strapped naked with no clothes.
Thank you for that, Freddie. And so it's a very storied ship throughout Legends. It has like a very tumultuous story arc in terms of the history of this ship, and it's beautiful, and we'll get there. We'll do it sooner or later. Now, with the capital ships, we've talked about the Chimera, we've talked about the Executor class, the Bucktooth one from Dark Empire. There's one other very special Star Destroyer. Freddie, you're the one that added this. It's Candy Apple Red.
I think it's special to our hearts.
Tell us about it.
Emily, Rick, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this yet, but it's very special to me and Jared here. We've got the Errant Venture, which is it's an Imperial 2 class Star Destroyer. So Rick, go ahead and look in your nerd book real quick. See what that looks like.
It's the same as the regular, just the armaments are different.
Owned by Booster Tarek, and I'm pretty sure it's a casino, right, Jared?
Yeah. No, I think he captures it. I can't remember exactly which book it is. Somebody in the chat might know.
Is it one of the Katana fleet? No.
Is it part of the Katana fleet? No, because they're not Star Destroyers.
No, I thought it was just it was his own ship. He painted it red, and actually it's funny because there was a note that I was researching about Errant Venture because I wanted to put it in the show notes. According to Michael Stackpole, he indicated that the Errant Venture wasn't all painted red because Booster wanted some areas for advertising billboards.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
That's new for me. I just imagine like Sonic up on the panels. America's Drive-In. Oh.
Tractor beam. John Deere.
JB Hunt. Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. It's Skuma Joe in the chat just said it there. I believe, you might be correct there. He captures it in, maybe in book 4 of X-Wing series, but I'm not entirely sure where exactly that happened. I'd have to go back and look.
What's cool is every now and then in Legends, going out from there, the rebels are always like, man, we need a big capital ship that for this mission that's already not assigned somewhere. They're like, where are we going to get one? And without fail, this must happen a dozen times. New Jedi Order and beyond, somebody says, I know a guy. And then they're always like, no, don't do it. And then all of a sudden, the candy apple red Star Destroyer comes up, and he's like, we were doing just fine gambling, and now you called us back into war. Anyway,
I've always imagined that instead of turrets, it has just bass, like subwoofers, and just rolling through space with some kind of Snoop Dogg song.
So what I appreciate about both the Errant Venture and the Lusankya, thank you guys for helping me with the name there, of Isard's Super Star Destroyer, is the ships themselves have character. They're not just specifications and guns. They tell a story. And that's what I'm here for.
Totally.
I'm here for the technical specs and the cool nerd details, but the stories are good too.
Okay, thanks, Rick. Good job. All right, a couple more honorable mentions before we close out the show, and that is there are two very notable freighters in Legends. One of my very favorites. In fact, I've been looking into schematics. There you go. That's just for you, Rick. Hey! I said schematics on how to build a Lego of this particular ship, and that is the Ebon Hawk from Knights of the Old Republic. The Ebon Hawk. I don't know if I like it because of the design, which the kind of rectangular nose is goofy, or the color scheme, which is cool, the kind of red and cream, or if I just like the fact that, I've spent time in every last square inch of this ship a dozen times over. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about the Ebon Hawk? Does it stack up for you as like a really cool ship design, or is it goofy to you?
It's definitely goofy, right? It's almost like a very snubbed nose looking kind of stapler.
It's like somebody cut the Millennium Falcon in half and then put like a pleasure yacht on the other half.
Now we're
That's
talking.
kind of the vibe
Freddie,
I'm getting.
We accidentally left the Lady Luck off the list. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, there's so many good ships. Maybe we'll do ship part 2.
Yeah.
Ship week instead of Shark Week. It's Ship Week.
I would love that. Yes.
Not a bad idea.
So
I had an idea for something. Yeah, it was like Anyway, we'll get there. It's a big secret. Okay. The Ebon Hawk. You said it's goofy too, Rick.
I don't know much about it. I mean, I'm not totally goofed out by it. I think it's cool looking. I mean, it's a ship, man. What can you not like? It goes to space and does things and goes pew pew.
Well,
goes pew pew.
It's definitely derivative of the Millennium Falcon. I'll give it that, but it's very legendsy. It's gonna look really good on my new Knights of the Republic shelves that I'm building. All right, now I gotta do it. It's gonna have to happen. Emily, you wanted to talk about one more freighter before we close it out.
Yes. So this is the second best ship name in all of Legends. Wild Card, Karrde. It's from the Thrawn trilogy. It's a heavily modified transport used by Talon Card for smuggling and as a mobile base of operations. And that is a unique body style. Good night.
Oh, yeah. I think it was designed for the comic adaptation, if I'm not wrong, in terms of the looks of it. What's fun is, if I remember correctly, Zahn wanted to name the trilogy. He wanted to call it, or the first book maybe, he wanted, instead of Heir to the Empire, he wanted to call it Wild Card. Karrde.
Nice.
That wouldn't have worked, would it?
Well, it would have been all about this ship, and Rick would have loved it.
Yeah.
Rick would have loved it just as much. All right, guys, before we close it out, any more ships you want to give an honorable mention to? From the chat here, Scuba Joe said, make sure we talk about the K-Wing. There we go. We did it. We said it. K-Wing. It's out there. I don't know much about it. I think it's Clone Wars era.
I don't know anything about it. That one's...
There's also another honorable mention. It's a very interesting one. It also has character, the Shadow Droid, right? Where they remove the brains of Ace pilots and put it into the ship.
Oh,
yeah. That's in the Thrawn trilogy. Okay, another one here from Republic Trooper 86, the Jade Shadow. So one of Mara Jade's ships. There's several of hers I want to talk about we didn't get to. Okay, Scuba Joe says K-Wing is from Black Fleet Crisis, which I've not read since the 90s. So it's on my list.
E-Wing is also in the Black Fleet Crisis, so...
Yeah.
Congratulations with that fact, Freddie. Way to go. You know that fact. You said it. There it is.
Dash Renda, his Outrider.
The
Outrider. That's a good one.
Yeah. I got some...
Emily, you've got a good one in here, too.
Oh yeah, Asajj Ventress's Solar Sailor,
Nice.
which
Nailed
actually
it.
was Dooku's first. It was built by the Geonosians, but that's a very unique design.
It's an
How
elegant
does
way
this
to
work
fly.
in space?
I have no
Because
idea.
you've got to have
All right.
air.
Well,
It's
so
Let's go.
Let me.
Oh.
It captures
So-
solar energy. It's a solar sail.
solar
Oh,
wind.
it's
it
in the name,
creates-
I guess.
Yeah, there's the radiation itself actually creates its own wind. So what it does is it captures the heat and the wind from the star. But the problem is if there's no star,
Yeah.
All right, Freddie, you're an actual solar engineer. Does this check out?
if you're within the region of that star, but after that, if you're in deep space, I don't know what the point of that parachute is.
I think this is actually one of the designs that is closest to ion propulsion has been used, I think, for rockets and like satellites and stuff.
Super slow too.
Super slow, yeah. But talking about ions or solar sails, I think both are super slow, right?
Yeah.
But like this is another one that like is feasible, Like anyway, I my brain is not able to make a coherent thought. I'm just too excited and giddy about ships. But
You heard it here first, folks.
Cool
It's
stuff.
feasible. Checks out from an actual solar engineer. Well, there's more than we could possibly get to. More and
So
more
much.
pouring through the comments. Yes, the Outrider is a 2400, so it's like twice the Millennium Falcon. And in Han's opinion, probably twice as lame. Anyway, you're welcome
That was
for
good,
that
man.
that
one.
was good.
It's more like the dad from King of the Hill than it was Han Solo.
I want,
Dang
I
it,
wanna-
Bobby.
Can you do it? That thing got a Hemi in his voice.
And that does it for this week's episode of Legends Look Back. Do want to say, coming up over the next week or so, The Living Force is on Monday night, March 7th at 8 p.m. They're going to be doing the Midnight Horizon Roundtable. Never heard of that one. Okay, we've got the Cosmic Force doing The Rise of Kylo Ren. That's a good story. On Wednesday, March 9th at 8 p.m. And then next week, right here, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Is that right? I'm in a different time zone now. Yeah. 9:30 p.m.
Eastern, yep.
Eastern next Thursday, March 10th. We are going to be doing... Emily, tell us what it is. Just for you.
We're going to be doing the Babies of Legends.
Nice.
The best
Very
babies.
exciting.
Yeah. Just for you, Emily.
Babies.
Please don't have your baby
Appreciate that.
before then, because you've got to be here for it.
Well, no promises.
You heard it here first, folks. She's promised she will be here next week, no matter what. Well,
No matter what.
I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. It's been absolutely popping off tonight. We've had a ball hanging out with y'all. That does it for this week. Thanks for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thanks especially to our incredible patrons for your amazing support. Special thank you to Patrick Ortiz, Carl Sander, OK Endar, Earl Q, Brian Dooley, almost said Daily. That's a Legends author on our Jedi High Council. Also to Elizabeth Cloutier, Sally and Chris Eilerson, Freddie C., and Matt Billington on our Alliance High Command for their amazing support. Remember, everybody, you can sub to this channel on YouTube and also leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. That goes a long way to help get the show out there on the solar sailor of the internet. If you'd like your thoughts read on the show, you can email us. Oh, Freddie, remind me, I got to check that email. You can email us, legendslookback@youtini.com, or send us a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. You can leave a message, a comment on this episode on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitter at Legends Look Back, or I'm at Jared Q. Mays, Freddie,
At Wake Up Freddy.
Rick,
At Rick_Grace.
and Emily.
At Darth Daybeck.
Wonderful. If you're looking to buy some of these books and want to help support the show, hey, there's like 4 new Essential Legends collections coming out. We've got a Thrawn box set. And you can just go on over to youtini.com, go to the new releases category under the timeline. No, the release schedule. And there's Legends books there, y'all. You click the Amazon link in the profile, and then we get a few cents to help keep the lights on. After you've read it, leave us a review and let us know what you think. Remember, everybody, to keep the Youtini fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.